I would move mountains to make sure that Lil got her beat for this. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Imai and today is Beat TV Tuesday. Beat TV is a series on my channel where I put on makeup while we talk about an episode of a TV show. It's been cartoons so far, but we can switch it up if you want to. Last week or a few days ago, I posted a poll asking what did you guys want to watch, and you guys voted for All Grown Up. So that's what we're gonna watch today. It is not lost on me that you guys made suggestions. Next week is the 25th. Sorry, I have a calendar right here. It's the 25th, and we're going to be watching Hey Arnold together because you guys suggested a lot of that. And then I'm gonna post another poll so that we can see if February we're going to be watching shows with Black main characters, because February is Black History Month. It won't be like the Black History Month episodes. It's just going to be shows with main characters that are Black. But I'm going to post to see if you guys want to watch shows with Black main characters for February, or if you guys want to watch Valentine's Day episodes for February. So that poll should already be up, and let's get into it. When I posted the poll for this week, I had the episode Separate But Equal in my mind for us to watch, just based on the name alone. If you do not know, Separate But Equal is a term that was invented, used primarily during the American segregation of the races during Jim Crow laws and the Jim Crow era. Were there any Black people on your team? Were there any Black people on your team that could say, hey, maybe this isn't a good title for this episode? And then I thought about it and I was like, I don't know that there's much to talk about within the episode itself. So I was going through Paramount Plus, where I watch All Grown Up and As Told by Ginger. A lot of the shows that we've watched together are on either Hulu or Paramount Plus. I was looking through and I saw the episode that we're gonna watch today, which is season 4, episode 9, called A DeVille House Divided. It's a really good episode, so I wanted to get into that. And before I forget, I know a few weeks ago we talked about a giveaway. Let me know in the comments what you guys want, because I still have the Amazon Echo Dot that I can give away. But what else do you guys want? Because we have now celebrated 1,000 subscribers together. So the poll should be up for the February lineup of what we're gonna watch, and let me know in the comments about the giveaway and I'll get some stuff to give away. Before we get started, I'm not gonna be doing an extensive, like, super detailed artsy face today. Like, I know I said I was gonna be serving more looks on Beat TV, but all my brushes are dirty because this is my second time filming this. So no eyeshadow today, but something's happening on my face, okay? The episode begins and it's footage of a soccer game that Phil and Lil and their team are playing in. And through the footage, we can tell that Lil is a very good soccer player. If you did not know, earlier in season 4, Lil was introduced to soccer by Phil and she joined the team, and now they both play on the same team, and their mom is the coach for the soccer team. I feel like I said the word team way too many times. So they're watching the footage from the game, and we see that they are at their annual soccer awards in Chucky's dad's coffee shop called the Java Lava. One thing that I thought was kind of cute was that how in the end of Rugrats, you can kind of see where they were setting up for all grown up to be a thing, because it was mentioned in like the last season of Rugrats about the Java Lava, about Chucky's dad opening it up and everything, which I think is really cute. Before they start giving out the awards, Principal Pangborn is thanking Tommy for filming the soccer game, because that's kind of what he does. In All Grown Up, Tommy is like a videographer, like he makes movies and stuff. So Principal Pangborn is thanking him, and we look at Tommy and he has a big old black eye, and Phil apologizes for giving him the black eye, which is kind of just implying that he's a bad player. But if you watched any of the show before that, when they mentioned Phil in soccer, he's just a bad soccer player. So since Phil and Lil, oh my god, bleh. Since Phil and Lil's mom is the coach of the soccer team, she gets ready to hand out the awards, and she prefaces it by saying, before we get started here, no one player is more important than the other. She starts handing out the awards, and Lil is like snatching up all the trophies, like best highest scorer, best assists. Like, I don't know much about soccer, but Lil is eating. Like, it's to the point where she can't even make it back to her seat before they're calling her name again for another award.
Most assists, Lil DeVille. And best snacks, Lil DeVille.
And she heads back to her seat with 4 awards, and Phil is sitting next to her, and Phil is so proud of her. He's like, you know, congrats, sis. Like, that's really amazing that you got all these awards. And she has all of them like in her arms, and she's like, you know, you showed me the game. Thank you for showing me the game, because I wouldn't have had all these awards if you didn't like show me the game. And as she's saying this, she drops one of her awards on the floor. And as Phil bends down to pick up the awards, one of the girls on the team is walking by to collect her award. And he's like, our very own team captain won this award. I can't remember what award it was. Wally Ramone. And Phil is like, whoa, that's Wally? She looks good. So after Wally collects her award, she sits back down, and Lil's mom gets over the microphone, and she's like, we have one more game before we are eligible to go to Hawaii. So the next game, we need to kill it and win so that we can qualify for the regionals in Hawaii. And then she's like, now go have your pizza and have fun, but we gotta be on top of it for the next game. So the kids are eating the pizza. Lil and Wally are off to a separate part of the coffee shop, while Phil, Tommy, Dill, and Chucky are all eating pizza. And Phil has got like pizza grease all over his face, and he's talking to the guys, and he's like, you know, I never noticed how pretty Wally is. Tommy's like, what do you mean you haven't noticed? Like, she's always at your house playing with Lil. And Phil is like, yeah, but when they're playing together, they're like kicking soccer balls at my head. Like, I'm not noticing Wally. But, you know, the girl looked good. So as Lil and Wally are walking over to the table, Lil is talking about how, like, at that next game, they're gonna kill it so they can go to Hawaii. And Phil tries to offer Wally the last slice of pizza, and he's like, tripping over his words. He's like, last slice of pizza? And Wally just like giggles and like wipes some pizza grease off of his face, and like Phil is blushing. And Lil was like, whoa, someone had too many root beers. And Wally is like, did you say something? Because she's like crushing back on Phil, and it's, yes. And the next scene, we see Lil and Wally at Lil's house, and they have their little like Pioneer like doll set. I feel like it's supposed to be like an American Girl doll thing, like how American Girl has like the themed historical dolls or whatever. And they're playing with their little Pioneer set. And as they're playing, Phil comes in with like his like little Transformers looking action figure, and he's like shooting little whatevers, the pew pew. I'm gonna put the thing up there, you know what I'm talking about. He's like shooting them at the dolls, and he's like, ha ha ha, I'm here to destroy the Indians. And Lil is like, first of all, they're not called Indians, they're Native Americans, and we live at peace with them in our little pioneer doll society. And Wally is like, well, we can go to war with the Indians, you know, the settlers did take their land. And like, hold on, babe. First of all, they weren't settlers. And Lil just said they're not Indians, they're Native Americans. Why are we continuing to calling them Indians? Isn't it crazy how like 550 years ago, Christopher Columbus was like, these people are Indians. And it's just taken us like the past maybe 30 years or so, and that's being generous, to start calling them Native Americans. Isn't that wild? And now in the past like couple years, we've been calling them indigenous, like they're supposed to be called. Isn't that wild? So Phil just intrudes on their game, and Wally's like asking questions about the action figure, and Lil is visibly annoyed with this. She's like, we were playing our little saloon pioneer girl game and you come up in here with this mess. So in the next scene, Phil and Lil are, oh my god, I just got some face powder down my throat. Phil and Lil are in the park playing a game they made up called the Invisible Volcano King. And Wally walks up on them in the park and she's like, what's that you're playing? And Lil's like, it's Invisible Volcano King. It's a game we made up a long time ago. And Wally's like, that's cool, can I play? And Lil is kind of like, well, it's kind of just for 2 people. And Wally goes, well, you made up the rules, you can change them. Who do you think you are, telling me how to play my game? That's not how I want to play my game. If I wanted you to play, I would have invited you. But Phil is like, that's a good idea. I want Wally on my team. And Lil is like, that's not fair. That's 2 against 1. And Wally's like, oh, well, let's just play a game that we all can play. So it cuts to Phil, Lil, and Wally back at the twins' house, and they're playing like their version of Twister. And Phil and Wally are the ones like doing this on the mat, and Lil is the one spinning the freaking the spinner. So one of these days back in the cafeteria, I can't for sure say the next day, but it's one of these days, Lil and Kimmy are in the cafeteria, and Lil is, you know, just venting to Kimmy about, you know, it's been super annoying ever since the soccer awards that Wally and Phil have been spending all their time together and kind of leaving me out. And Kimmy's like, duh, they like each other. And Lil is like, you're bugging, they don't like each other. Like, Phil is immature and gross, like who would ever like Phil? And like we look at Phil and Phil's like sticking a french fry up his nose, and she's like, see, he's gross, like look. And Kimmy's like, no girl, you look, because Wally is over there kikiing, eating it up, like she's dying. Like no man is ever that funny. And Lil is like, oh my god, you're right, they do like each other, and I'm the last one to see it. And Kimmy's like, you're not the last one to see it, they're the last ones to see it. So Lil is like, oh, I'm gonna handle this. So she walks over there and she's like, Phil, do you like Wally? And he's like, what? No way. And she's like, Wally, do you like Phil? And she's like, nuh-uh. And she's like, that settles it. Y'all like each other because people who like each other always act super weird about liking each other. And they just like admit that they like each other. And now that they established that they like each other, they like, let's go get ice cream together. And they just like leave Lil behind, and Lil's like, damn, that's cold. Left me behind. So the whole gang is at like a mini golf place, and Lil is chilling with Kimmy since Phil is hanging out with Wally, and Lil is very annoyed at the fact that Phil and Wally are like acting all coupley, and she's like, I don't know, she's just super annoyed by the fact that, like, I'm just gonna put a clip because I can't even explain it, but she's annoyed at the fact that they're being coupley, and I'm like, girl, you kind of did this because they didn't have to admit that they liked each other. That was you, mama. You ain't have to do all that if you didn't want this to be the outcome. They could have just lived in ignorance. Oh, I like tried to contour my nose differently than I usually do, and it's just like coming out like a brown mush. This is why you stick to what you know. So while they're at the mini golf thing, Lil just has this daydream about Phil getting married to Wally and just like leaving her in the dust, and it doesn't make her feel good. So the next time that they're at soccer practice, Principal Pangborn, who's like one of the co-coaches of the soccer team, is like, y'all, we gotta get to Hawaii. So we gotta be on our A game so that we can go to Hawaii and have a great time. And like Lil is sitting there frustrated because Phil and Wally are like giving each other like little glances. And Lil is just, she is fuming. Like she literally tosses a soccer ball at Phil's head, and he's so smitten with Wally that he does not notice. I can't tell if this looks good or muddy. I feel like it looks muddy, but I genuinely can't tell. So after practice, Phil comes into Lil's room and he's like, hey man, like I'm sorry about, you know, not being on my A game at practice and like zoning out. Like I know this game is really important, you know, because we got to go to Hawaii. And he's holding something in his hand, and Lil turns around and she's like, oh my god, is that Doom Raider 5? Like we've been waiting forever for this video game. Phil is like, listen, I want to tell you about something that happened today. So me and Wally were in the park and we were laying down in the grass watching the clouds, and she reached over and held my hand, and like my heart started beating and my hand was getting all sweaty, and Lil was like, oh, sounds like you didn't like it. And he's like, are you kidding? It was great. I loved it. He's like, I can't let you do it again. And Lil is like, all right, well, let's pop this game in and play. And he's like, oh, that was just for you. I'm going to Wally's house. But, you know, have fun. Tell me how it is. And he just leaves. So the next day at lunch, Lil is sitting down and Wally takes a seat next to her. And Lil is just like, oh, look who decided to show up. And she's like, where's Phil? And Wally's like, I ditched him. Can I ask you something? And Lil is like, yeah. And she goes, you know, the other day in the park, I held his hand and he got all pale and like sweaty and stuff. Like, did he say anything to you? Like, I don't think he liked it. And Lil is like doing her little Grinch smile. And she's like, well, he told me it made him sick to his stomach. And Wally's like distraught. And she's like, huh. You know, I'm sorry. Guys can be jerks sometimes. Could eat those tater tots? And she's like, you can have them. I'm not hungry anymore. And Lil is just like so pleased with what she's done. Like, not only is this your brother, this is your twin, babe. Like, what are you doing? After school that day, Lil goes into Phil's room and she's like, ah, yeah, let's play some Doom Raider 5 now that you're home and not fucking with Wally. And Phil is, oh my god, the most pathetic display of just sadness I've ever seen on TV.
Don't look at me. What's wrong? What's wrong? Everything is wrong. The world has fallen off its axis. The sun shall never shine again.
And she's like, what happened? And he's like, Wally dumped me. He's like, you're her friend? Did she say anything? And she's like, nope. She didn't say nothing to me. Nope. Didn't say anything. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. And like, he is bawling. And Lil leaves his room and she's kind of like, damn, I fucked up. I really fucked up. I'm deciding if I want to put on mascara on my lower lashes, because I feel like I have the perfect amount of shadow underneath and it might like mess it up. Tommy and Chucky are dragging Phil into the Java Lava to have just like a smoothie, and they're like, come on man, it's just one drink, you got to keep your mind off of things. And Dilla's in there with Mr. Pangborn's like nephew that he's watching. It was a whole B plot that didn't really matter, so I didn't decide to tell you guys about it, but Principal Pangborn's nephew was there hanging out with Dill, and he's been causing trouble, like being super annoying. And Phil is just wallowing in pain, and Lil is like letting Kimmy know what she did, and Kimmy's like, girl, that's fucked up. And she was like, they were annoying. Like, what else was I thinking? They basically left me with no choice. They suck. And, you know, Phil is just fell all out, like distraught over being single now. And Principal Pangborn's nephew is like, man, if my sister broke up me and my girlfriend, I'd never talk to that bitch again. And Phil is like, the fuck did you say? And Lil is like, the fuck did you say? Like, bro, blowing up my spot. Deserved. Deserved.
You told Wally I didn't like her? I will never forgive you for this, Lillian!
So before their super important game, Principal Pangborn, of course, he's one of the coaches. I think I said that. He's going through the plays with them about, you know, you're gonna be over here with defense, you're gonna be there by the, I don't know soccer, but they're just kind of fighting like, I don't want to play defense on that side. I'm mad at Lil. And he's like, okay, then we'll move you over here. And she's like, well, I don't want to be over there. I'm not with, like, me and Phil broke up. I'm not trying to be over there. And honestly, if I was Mr. Pangborn, I'd be like, I don't care about your petty 5th grade romance drama problems. This is about Hawaii. Y'all are not going to mess up my tropical vacation in my bikini on the beach because y'all are sad about not being able to, I don't know, hang out and hold hands in the sun and frolic in the grass. I don't care. I'm going to Hawaii. Like, what do you mean you're moving around the place for them? This isn't about them. This is about my trip to Hawaii. I'm not playing them games. So during the whole game, they're like being petty, like not kicking it to a certain person, and just like just being petty in ways that like is gonna fuck up the game. And Lil and Phil kind of run into each other, and then Phil, Lil, and Wally all literally just start arguing in the middle of the field while the other team is scoring the winning goal, and they don't get to go Hawaii because they lost. And they're back at the Java Lava, and the Java Lava is set up with all of these Hawaiian like decorations and everything because they expected them to win and go to Hawaii. And everyone is just sitting in the Java Lava, the whole team, and the coach is just sad, like, ugh, we're not going to Hawaii, like it's all set up for us to go to Hawaii because they expected to win. And, you know, Wally is pissed off and she's storming out, and Lil is like, you know, you're right to be mad at me, and, you know, I'm sorry. First of all, bitch, I don't give a damn what you did. Now, I'm not forgiving you because I'm not in Hawaii. Like, I know they're 10, but I'm 22. If I missed out on sipping drinks in Hawaii because you broke up with my brother, or like because like I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip. I've never been to Hawaii. I have never been outside of the continental United States. And you're messing up my chances to go to Hawaii over some petty relationship drama? These are 5th graders. Over petty relationship drama? I'm going to cause a scene. Now I have 2 reasons to be mad at you. There's no forgiveness here. There's no forgiveness here. And, you know, she's like, I just felt like you were taking my brother away from me. And, you know, I did a horrible thing, but don't take it out on him. And Wally's like, you know, this boy girl stuff is just so complicated. She's like, well, we can just like go back to being friends again. And then she's like, yeah. And they hug it out. And then they all go hang out together, the three of them. I would move mountains to make sure that Lil got her ass beat for this. Not only I could have been on the beach in my bikini with my boo. Do you hear that alliteration? But now I'm at home, single and sad because of you. I could have been in Hawaii. I could have been in Hawaii getting a tan in my bikini on the beach. And you broke up me and my man because y'all couldn't play Invisible Volcano King and we couldn't play with our American Girl dolls? That's what this is? Now, I know I said that I wanted to make this more of like a classy video essay, but this was an egregious crime and I had to address it because there's no way. There is no way. There's no way. I feel like I get to the end of these videos and I'm just stumbled on what to say about the foolishness, but like, there's really no way. Like, the forgiveness is, whoa. I'd be mad for a little bit. I can't lie. I'd be mad for like a little bit of time, but I think that's just the episode. A couple things before we go. I've been getting a couple comments like, girl, I think you're taking this a little too serious. I think you're taking me too serious because I'm just talking shit and having fun. We're all just talking shit and having fun. Like, I know it's just cartoons, but we're just talking and having a good time. So, I promise you, this camera goes off and I don't care. I don't care. It's cartoons. Cartoons that were made like 15 years ago. I don't care. We're not taking this too seriously. We're just having a good time talking shit about cartoons. It's not that deep. Also, I said it in my vlog. I've never been a YouTuber before, so my structure is gonna be a little bit messy until I get the hang of things. I'm aware that it's not to par with other YouTubers, but they've been working at it for a long time. I just started here, so give me some time to get to a structure that I like with my videos. Quality might be low, but that's just because I've never done this before, so bear with me, okay? So, I think that's all for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm actually gonna stick to it next time when I say that I want to have a bit more structure with this video so that we can have active conversations rather than just being mad at characters. Because when I did my Bratz video 2 weeks ago, I think we had a good discussion in the comments about hyperfemininity on TV and, you know, just women being women, and I want to have more of those conversations because I think it's important. But we also have to talk shit because that's fun too. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Thursday with whatever I decide to post on Thursday.